From Studio 3A in Rockefeller Center, USA, it's time for a special Tournament of Champions edition of Up Against the Clock. She's half Canadian, but she was born deep in the heart of Texas. Please welcome back the formidable Kate Nocera. He went to high school in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, with rock legend Neil Young, where he may have inspired the hit Rocket in the Free World. Watch out, it's Norm Ornstein. And his record-breaking 1,900-point performance earned him not only the top seed in this group, but the #1 overall seed in the tournament. It's the indomitable Jeff Smith. And now, the host of Up Against the Clock, Steve Kornacki.
Thank you, Bill Wolf. Thank you, studio audience. Thank you to everybody tuning in at home. This is the moment our contestants have been playing for all year. The Up Against the Clock Tournament of Champions. Our answer to March Madness. And today is the start of our 3 first-round matchups. The winner this morning is going to advance to the prestigious Tournament of Champions Final, which will be held on April 5th. The 3 people standing on contestants' row right now were handpicked by our own selection committee. Jeff Smith is the #1 seed, not only in this group today, but for the entire tournament. Norm Ornstein is today's #2 seed, and Kate Nocera is the #3 seed. She won the final victory of the season to qualify for this tournament. Now, the rules for this first-round matchup remain the same. We'll have 3 rounds of play, 100 seconds in each. Questions will get harder as we go along. You can ring in any time, but as you know, you will be penalized for wrong answers. And, of course, there are instant bonuses scattered throughout the game. As always, I would like to remind our live studio audience to please remain absolutely silent. No outbursts while our panel is in play. And with that, I will ask you, contestants, are you ready to begin the Tournament of Champions?
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. They are ready. We will put 100 seconds on the clock. It's not going to be on the screen, but they're going to ring the buzzer and tell me when it's over. Off to a great start. All right, 100-point round begins with this. In a ceremony this week honoring women in music at the White House, President Obama misspelled this word when introducing Kate. Respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. 100 points for Kate. On Tuesday, Steve Stockman failed in his bid to unseat this Jeff.
John Cornyn.
Steve Stockman failed in his bid to unseat John Cornyn in a Republican primary. That is correct. 100 points for Jeff. Another 100-point question. The Russian rebroadcast of Sunday's Oscars was cut down to 90 minutes, omitting a speech by this actor who referred to the... Kate.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto is correct. He referred to the Ukraine crisis after winning his Oscar. Instant bonus here, Kate. Extra 100 points if you can answer this. Leto's band will be traveling to Ukraine later this month to perform. What is the name of that band?
90 Seconds to Mars.
I'm sorry, it's 30 seconds to Mars. So close, but no 100 points there. We continue. A 100-point question here. City lawmakers in the District of Columbia voted on Tuesday to decriminalize marijuana. Norm is on the board. 35 seconds left in this round. A 100-point question. The College Board announced sweeping reform.
SAT.
Incorrect. I will finish. Announced sweeping reforms to the SATs this week, saying that among other changes, a perfect score on the test would return... Jeff.
1,600.
Would return to 1,600 points. 100 points for Jeff Smith. 100-point question on Wednesday. It was reported that Oprah Winfrey is teaming up with The Wire creator David Simon to make an HBO miniseries about what civil rights leader? Call time. It was Martin Luther King Jr. It is Martin Luther King Jr. House over 100-point question. Oh, I'm sorry. That brings us to the end. That brings us to the end of round 1. And so the scoreboards are working. Kate has 200 points. Jeff has 200. Norm at 0. But this is the 200-point round that we are now going into. So, Norm, you could tie this up with one question. Again, a 100-second round here. I will give you updates on the time as they give them to me. 200-point round, though. It begins with this. This coming Tuesday marks a special election for a House seat in Florida, pitting Republican David Jolly and Democrat Alex Sink against each other. Whose seat are they vying?
Bill Young.
They are vying to fill Bill Young's seat. That's correct. 200 points for Norm. 200-point question. E-cigarettes, promoted as a safer alternative to tobacco cigarettes, were banned in public spaces by this major U.S. city this week. Call time on that is Los Angeles. Los Angeles banned them in public places this week. 200-point question. First Lady Michelle Obama will be making her third solo trip outside the U.S. as First Lady when she visits what country later this month?
China?
Kate. China's correct. 200 points for Kate. Under a minute left in this round. 200-point question. To the delight of hypochondriacs, President Obama will field questions from users of this medical site. Kate.
WebMD.
WebMD. He will field questions from them about the healthcare law next week. 200 more points for Kate. After the state's 200-point question here. After the state's Supreme Court ruled that this activity was actually legal, Massachusetts lawmakers quickly passed legislation on Thursday to outlaw it. What is this activity? Kate.
Taking a photo up someone's skirt.
Taking up skirt photos is correct. 200 points for Kate. Another 200-point question here. This family-friendly media conglomerate announced this week that it would cut all funding to the Boy Scouts of America next year due to their policy of banning gay scout leaders. Jeff.
Disney?
It is Disney. 200 points for Jeff. Right at the wire. Ends the round. Brings Jeff to 400. Kate sitting there at 800. Norm at 200. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the third and final round of this opening round tournament contest, the 300-point round. We'll go 100 seconds. I'll try to keep you updated. A spot in the championship game on the line, and we begin now. This Democratic senator told The Nation magazine this week that he or she...
Bernie Sanders
is prepared to run for president in 2016. Instant bonus, Norm. Sanders, on Wednesday, received a letter critical of his performance in the Senate from what longtime progressive activist and five-time presidential candidate?
Ralph Nader.
Ralph Nader's correct. 300 more for Norm. 300-point question. When Kirsten Gillibrand's military sex assault bill narrowly failed on Thursday, 17 of the Senate's 20 women voted for it. Name one of the three female senators. Jeff.
Claire McCaskill.
Yes, Claire McCaskill is one of the three female senators to vote against it. Deb Fisher, Kelly Ayotte, the other two. 300-point question. This governor skipped CPAC this week, but his first 2014 ad in his re-election bid.
Scott Walker.
Scott Walker hit his airwaves in Wisconsin this week. 300 points for Kate. 300-point question. This longtime Clinton family pal and a chief strategist in Hillary Clinton's failed 2008 presidential bid. Jeff.
Mark Penn.
Mark Penn is correct. He will Microsoft was announced this week as chief strategy officer. Adding to the Bush family political dynasty, Jeff.
Land Commissioner.
That's correct. George P. Bush won a primary for the office of Texas Land Commissioner on Tuesday. 300-point question. In a moment that his conservative primary challenger likened to Michael Dukakis's widely ridiculed 1988 ride in a tank, Mitch McConnell, Jeff.
Matt Bevin.
Incorrect. You lose 300 points. I'll finish the question. Mitch McConnell brought a rifle on stage at CPAC on Thursday and presented it to whom? Kate.
Tom Coburn.
Tom Coburn's correct. 300 points for Kate. That changed the outcome of the game, and Kate wins it with 1,400 points. Jeff Smith, the #1 overall seed, goes down in a close game with 1,000 and Norm at 800. This was a very close game, and that means, Kate, that you are one step closer to becoming the first ever up-against-the-clock national champion. You have advanced in this bracket. Next week, as you can see, Isaac Chotiner, Alex Seitzwald, and Susan Page will be competing against each other for a spot in that championship match against Kate and one other contestant. April 5th, that is